All right, and we are back. And ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute honor to finally. Me and Nathan's been talking about doing this podcast for like 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, but I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, right? And when it's supposed to happen. And yeah, here we are, and it's such an honor, and it's always good to see you and your dad at the racetracks, my
Yeah.
friend. So yeah, Nathan, me and you got a lot to talk about, man, and your journey is very unique and very broad on the spectrum too as well. So let's just get into it, Nathan. Where did your journey begin on these two wheels?
It began in BMX when I was like 3 and 4. I did BMX with my sisters, and then it slowly came to motocross, and then I kept getting myself hurt in motocross, and my dad was just kind of like, "Dude, you want to try road racing?" Because he did a little bit of club racing with my mom, and I was like, "Sure, let's try it." So we went on a little 50 to VR kart track, and that was my first ever time on the road, and I loved it. I crashed once, I got right back up, and yeah, from then on, I mean, yeah, it was a good ride.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Motocross is one of the best ways to train, obviously. But there is a high cost for injury when it comes to
Mhm.
motocross for sure. But it teaches you a lot too about front movement, rear movement, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
VIR, my home track, absolutely love it. Let's go,
Mhm.
right? And it's funny because your very first crash, was you scared at all?
No, not really. I mean, I think that's a big thing for riders is being able to just crash and get right back up and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's again, racing's such a mental side of anything in life,
Mm.
but racing is, yeah, because once you have that real big crash or your first crash, how do you overcome that hurdle of getting back on the bike and feeling safe again is what it's
Yeah.
about, right? And comfortable. So yeah, it's everybody deals with it in their own particular way, of course. So yeah, I know your dad used to ride and race. Obviously, this is grassroots of racing. This is why you're here. We're having this conversation because it
Yeah.
all started with your dad. So you guys and girls stay tuned because yeah, I'm having dad on the podcast here, I think next month, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah.
Nathan, coming from motocross, how long did you do motocross to begin with?
It was probably 2 years, 2.5 years. It was on I went from a 50, the highest I got was on a 65, and that was at, like, the very end. But, I mean, we were all into motocross. Like, my dad had we have like, 8 acres on our land, and we had a little spot cleared out, and we had, like, a mini MX track. Like, it was, like, step up, whoops. It was, like, 11 whoops, tabletops. Like, we were all into it, and I just slowly stopped using it. We didn't have any tools to like maintain it, so there was like erosion lines everywhere. So now it's my turn track. Actually, I have a 125 that I ride turn track on. So
Dude, coolest kid in school with the coolest house. Dude, I would be over there every day. Let's ride, baby. Let's
yeah,
go. I love
yeah.
it, man. Yeah, for sure. Did you ever have any of your friends over there to ride with you?
Not many. I'm homeschooled, so I
Okay.
don't really have. I don't, and I never really got along with many of the friends at school because I was just always like they were always football, baseball, and I just kind of never like clicked with that. So mainly, I only have my two like actual friends. I have like two, and they come over to my house sometimes, but they don't really ride too much. But I have one of my friends. He does motocross as well, and he has a turn track, a pretty big one in his grandma's backyard. So sometimes I go over there and I ride his, and it's lots of fun.
Yeah, I love it, man. Dude, I feel you on that being different than everybody in school because I was the same way. I was all about two wheels, right? Like I didn't
Yeah.
care about football or basketball or even when Bo Jackson was big, and I did watch Bo because he did two sports. So it's very rare that I actually watched it, but I rooted for him. That's why I'm an Oakland Raider fan, even though I don't watch football, which by the way,
Mhm.
real football is soccer, people. It's not American football. It's soccer. Just
Yeah.
I say it all the time, but that is the only ball sport, Nathan, to the day that I do watch is soccer. Um,
Yeah. My sister does soccer for her high school,
yeah.
and yeah, kind of the only other ball sport that I watch. Everyone asks if I want to play basketball, and I remember we were at a diner one time, and um, someone asked if I wanted to play basketball with them, and my dad was like, "You don't know what a ball is." I kind of thought it was funny because I mean I never did any ball sports. So
Right. Yeah. You're like, no, but I know what a throttle is. Let's
yeah,
talk about
yeah,
that. Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Speak my language. Let's go. Yeah. I love it. So, going from motocross those 2 years or a little bit longer and then finally getting on the tarmac, once you fell in love with it, obviously you was all in
Mhm.
110%. So, how did you get to where you are? Tell us that journey, right? And also throw in there too, how the whole start from, hey, we're going to Spain to train and race out there
Mhm.
too, and then coming back to America.
Yeah, it was the Moto America Mini Cup. That's what did it for me. We did the inaugural. It was in like 2019 at Pittsburgh on 110 autos, and if you got first, then you could go over to Italy, and you could do a race over in there. So I ended up winning it, and when we went over to Spain, I got like 18th or something. I just got destroyed, and that's when we really like, wow, like Europeans is where it's at. So we ended up doing the mini cup until like 2023, and then in 2024 is when they're like, all right, we're gonna go over to Spain, and we're gonna do. It's now like pre-moto 4 or something, but we were on. I was actually teammates with Kenze, another kid that's in the Talent Cup, and yeah, so I ended up getting pretty slammed again that year, and we ended up doing training. Pretty much all my training was over in Spain, and I really learned a lot from that. And then we did the ESPK Talent Cup last year, and that was when Dale Quarterly really stepped in and started helping me. And that's when I went from the first race I was like 10th, 11th, and then the second race I got like 6th or something like that after Dale started helping. And so pretty much that whole year he ended up started helping. I would just kind of get better, more consistent, more consistent. And so yeah, and then yeah, that's how the Spain stuff started.
I love it, man. And in your opinion, what's the biggest difference in the training out there versus the training we have here?
When you go to like a kart track or something, everyone thinks that you need to train all day, like on the go-kart track, but they only go for 3 hours at a time. But they'll do like a couple things in that day. Like for me, whenever we went over, it was either like trials in the morning or something, and then we would go to the go-kart track and come back and then maybe do like paddleball, which is like pretty much pickleball, but it's
Yeah.
different over there. And but yeah, it was like that like every day. And when you go to the kart track, you could like you'd have like a random MotoGP rider show up. Like yeah, it's
And
crazy.
you're like, whoa, dude, who was the
Yeah.
first MotoGP rider you seen at the track?
I think we were. I think this was 2024, and we were just at. It was whenever we were in Spain doing the Moto 4 stuff, which is not pre Moto 4, and Pedro Acosta showed up, and like everyone's getting his autograph, and yeah, it's so crazy.
Pedro's my dude, man. I met Pedro a couple years ago at Texas. Got him to sign. I actually got a picture of him. It's put up over here. I need to. I'm getting ready to rearrange my room and hang up a bunch of new pictures. Anyway, got him to sign it. Bought a hat and a T-shirt. Dude, Pedro's always been. I remember him Moto 3 first race. He
Mhm.
won from pit lane. I was like, okay, this kid right here is absolutely somebody to watch because
Yeah,
he just did something that I've never fucking seen before. Sorry for
yeah,
cussing, but I've never seen it before, right?
yeah,
And then he backed it up, and I was like, okay, he could, be. Everybody uses the term aliens, and I say this all the time on my podcast when it comes to like Pedro Costa, Valentino Rossi. To me, there are some of the best at two wheels, but to me, the true aliens of the sport are all the men and women that race the Macau and the Isle of Man TT and the Northwest 200. Those
yeah,
guys and girls are the absolute aliens of this sport for sure. 110%.
yeah.
So Let me ask you this, Nathan. Being there training and having somebody like Pedro show up to the track and train too, did that like boost your ego at all? Like just having somebody like that
It
there?
almost beat me down because I got kind of blitzed by him. I was like, man, I got a lot of work to do.
I mean, it's you always got to crawl before you run and all
Right,
that good stuff,
right.
right? We always talk about, well, I talk about the how important all the little puzzle pieces have to come together in order for you to win just one race in
Yeah,
particular, right? But same thing going based on a full season and a career when it comes to, well, basically anything in life. But Dale Coulter to me was one of those important puzzle pieces that came to you that help you
definitely.
push you to that next level.
Yeah. I mean, he's changed my riding style so much. Like he hates seeing people like bow to the queen. It's what he calls it. It's when you put your chin on your wrist. And it's like now he's got me changed and everyone's like, dude, your body style sucks. And I'm like, but I'm like, I've gotten better, so obviously this body position's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just don't realize that. So,
Well, they're also chasing you too at the same time, right? And they're
right.
probably not looking at you for very long either. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to look, when it comes to like body position, everybody's got their own natural, way of they absolutely sit on the bike and what feels
Mhm.
comfortable to them. We call it bad habits. Some of us form bad habits, and it's hard for somebody to see like Dale for us to break us of those bad habits, right? When
Yeah.
he gets somebody like you that, I guess in his eyes seen some bad habits that he needed to attend to and change your style. Well, was that something easy for you to do? Is change your style, or did that take you a little bit of time?
It took I mean, he wanted me to change it from 2024 and I didn't change it until the start of this year. And it was until we were at CMP and someone offered me to ride an R7 and Dale was there and he was like, just ride it how you would normally ride it. And I was like, all right, I did a session, maybe two. And then he came in and he was like, all right, the way you leave pit lane, don't move. Just use the bars, learn to use the bars, don't move. All right, I did a session like that. And he told me to go back down what you were doing. And so I did that. And it was like 2 laps. I came back up. I hated it. Couldn't turn the bike. And from that point on, like I rode my first time. It was on R6. It was actually last Sunday and on the kart track at VIR. And it's so difficult. But you really have to use the bars and muscle and like, yeah,
You
that was
force the
not
bike
easy to break.
no, you're forcing the bike of what you wanted to do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's that again, that whole mental, connection the wrist to the brain to
Hmm.
let you do what you need to do, right?
Right.
That's that barrier you got to break through. Once you break, obviously you've done it, right? I don't know if we got a lot of people watching. I don't know if you guys and girls actually seen Nathan in real life. Absolutely murders it out there on the track. Which reminds me, Barber is coming up. Nathan will be there, so make sure when you're there at Moto America, please go by, get that picture, get that autograph, say hi to Nathan, because this guy right here is a future world champion, 110%. 100%. So I want to talk a little bit about, but before we get into the whole talent cup at Moto America, I want to talk about, you and Aaron Stevenson and the whole corner spin school and the benefits to it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been training me going on almost 9 years now. It was right before I went over to Italy for the after the inaugural thing, and he's helped me so much. I mean, he people it's a 2 day school, and you ride from 10 o'clock all the way to 5 o'clock with minimum stops, and he's all day drilling, and you'll be a completely different person from day one to day two. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Aaron's an absolute legend. He has two schools, Corner Speed and Corner Spin. So you guys and girls make sure you sign up. It's cornerspeed.com and cornerspin.com too, I think, off the top of my head. So I got a beanie hat, but it's too warm to wear. But I usually rock my
Yeah,
Corner Speed beanie hat for sure in the wintertime. Yeah,
yeah.
Aaron's such a great guy. You know what? I love his trips he does with his son Micah, right? And that
Mhm.
whole adventure and stuff. just go, right?
Yeah,
110%.
all the way to Alaska. Crazy. I
That
couldn't.
dude.
Camping out in the wilderness. Oh,
With bear, dude, you know what really scares me in the woods is bears. Like I could handle a lot of things, but when it comes to a bear, Nathan, you can't outrun it, you can't outclimb it, you can't outswim it. Like,
yeah, yeah. It's like
yeah,
a robot, except it's actually
it's like a robot. Exactly what it's
yeah.
hilarious. Yeah, it's like a robot. Oh, I love it. So we've got a good buddy of mine, Daniel Shoemake. He just left a comment. He says, "Oh, I've been smoked by Nathan on track. We did our first wear weekend together. Love it." And then we got Patrick Egan. What's going on? He says, "Best sounding bike on a track on a
Yeah.
kart track ever." Yeah,
He's
yeah.
actually the one that manages the kart track. He helps me out a lot with VIR. Shout out to him.
Yeah, big shout out to Patrick, man. Reach out to me, Patrick. I mean, you got a lot to talk about for sure. 110%. We got a lot to talk about. You know, let's go back to the kart track. You know, I'm really big into mini bike racing, right? Because it teaches you so much, whether it's a Grom, a 300, a 250, a 400, whatever it is, right? You learn so much from it. I feel like within our sport too, Nathan, there's a lot of, I think people move up too quick sometimes, right? And I think some
Yeah.
people don't move up; they stay back too long and need to move
Right.
up sooner, right?
Well, I think it's a big thing that's overlooked is kart track training or parking lot training. Like when people ask my dad or me, like, what do you train with or what do you train? And when my dad says we train in a parking lot most of the time, and they're like, oh, really? And I think a lot of people think that like trying to go fast, you need to be on a big track going balls to the walls. Like, I don't really, I think that's a big thing that's been overlooked is that you can learn so much from being on a kart track or being on a big track or parking lot.
Parking lot, yeah. Well, it all comes down to people, bike control.
Yes. Yes.
110%. That's what it all comes down to in those slow speed drills you see watching on Instagram or whatever. And out there in Spain, they're doing the figure eights and the kids are sliding through the cones. That's what Nathan's talking about.
Yeah.
That's all bike control, right? So when you finally get onto the VIR, north or south course, or maybe the full course, whichever it is, right? You have that bike control. It's like muscle memory, right? So I like to shoot guns, right? I'm big into guns, but going to shoot and getting on target, it's all muscle memory. Same thing as riding a motorcycle
Exactly. Yeah.
at speed is training and learning that. So how often do you train in parking lots a week or?
Lately, it hasn't been too much because we don't have a big enough parking lot for the parking lot that we go to is my elementary school, and it's not very big at all. So we still go a little bit on the Ovale. We still have our 160, but it's getting really small. It's still the GPO, the 10-inch wheels. We don't
Yeah.
even have the bigger one. We've tried. We have a Milwaukee 250 on 17s, and I've gone a couple times on that, but that's pretty difficult. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, obviously, you said earlier, you know, you homeschool. So some of my friends that race, they still go to public school. Some of them do, you know, homeschool too as well. You know, homeschooling, it's great because it allows you the freedom to think more about motorcycles than actually deal with people in school, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah, and for training, it's big. I mean, me and Aaron, we like I cycle probably 2 or 3 times a week, and it's all like 11 o'clock or something like that, and it just wouldn't be possible if I was in school. So yeah, it's being homeschooled is helpful so much.
Yeah, 100%. It's just a couple hours a day you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, which is easy, right? It's 8 hours
yes,
in real school or a couple hours at home. I'll
yeah,
take at home.
3.5 hours is what I do.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah. And
yeah,
you're how far are you away from graduating?
um, pretty far.
He said pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I'm still in 8th grade, so I still have a while. Whatever.
I love it, man. Paul McKee says, what's up, Paul? He says, I knew race one at Ware that Nathan would be seriously hurting feelings. Amazing talent. See you at Barber, bud. Simcoe better be there. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm the guy. So the guy I originally was going to go with backed out, so I'm currently trying to
Mm.
find a place. But dude, that's we'll talk about that podcast. Yeah, again, the parking lot drills and those low speed is in mini moto. I mean, that's where you learn all your bike control. That's why Aaron's so big on his corner spin school. That's why it's
Yeah.
amazing.
You learn so, and another thing people think, I mean, we train on 100s and 150Fs, and they think again that you need to be going fast and that you should be on like a 250 or 450, but you learn so much from a 7 horsepower machine. It's everyone overlooks it so much.
No, listen. I'm a firm believer and a big fan of that. That's what I tell all my knucklehead friends, dude, that think they need their first bike to be a 1000 or whatever.
Oh,
Bro, dude, no, absolutely not. Right?
no.
Like your first race bike is not going to be a GSXR 750. You can't even ride your street bike that well, right? Like, and again, I said it earlier, Daisy. That's when the ego comes in, right? It's hard to get a lot of people to let go of that ego. They think what you said earlier, man. They think that you need to be going 1,000,000 miles an hour
Yeah.
but dude, you got to have the bike control, and that's all. Smaller bikes, low horsepower, to where
Yeah.
everything's sliding and moving and bucking and weaving, and you're just
Yeah. And if you crash, it doesn't really matter. You just get right back up, keep
laughing
going.
off, yeah, and keep
Yeah.
going for sure. So brings us to the Talent Cup. Nathan, tell us your whole journey. How the whole talent thing come together, and we're actually going into our third race weekend at Barber for the Talent Cup, and just tell us how your first 2 weekends went and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So we came back. Um, we get over in Spain. They think, getting like sixth, fifth, whatever. They they think it's good, obviously, but you kind of get lost over in Spain. So we came back a lot for like attention and just get our name out there again. And they didn't do a whole lot of like interviews or anything like that. And so that's one thing that Moto America does really good with is interviewing the kids and doing all that. So I mean,
100%. Yeah, it's you made a good point right there. It's something that not only people realize is there's so many kids and families over there in Spain trying to make it on two wheels. It's easy to get lost in the whole, especially if I mean, let's just be honest, American. I feel like it's just harder for us in general to be in that front four light of the spotlight out there,
mhm.
unless you're bringing $500,000 with you, right? I mean, let's just be
Yeah,
honest. That's what it is. So
yeah,
and you're right on that. I feel like, and that's why, I do what I do, going after everybody that don't get the spotlight, because they deserve it, just like Jake Gagne and everybody else, right? They were where
yeah,
you were at one point in time, so without the spotlight.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, you're right. Moto America does a primo job of that, 110%.
definitely.
110%. So now you're back here in America from Spain racing and in the Talent Cup. Like I said, we'll go into round one, man. Tell us how your first round went. What was your first weekend like racing in the Talent Cup back in America, Nathan?
Yeah, it was with MotoGP, so it was a really good experience being there, and um, watching all the MotoGP guys, Moto3, Moto2, being around all those guys. We had pit passes that we were able to go in the cold side of hot pit, and you could see, like I hopped on a shuttle bus and I saw like Colin Vire in the back of the bus, going back to the car. And yeah, it was a great weekend. P3 and P2, or no, P2 and P1. And yeah, it was a great weekend.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. A proper mega weekend, as I
Yeah.
say, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
I text your dad and was like, dude, congrats. Nathan's gonna be a problem. And he just laughed, right? Like for sure. It's let's talk a little bit about MotoGP. I've been in Texas for the past, well, I haven't been for the past 3 years, but I was there 7 years in a row previously, me and
Huh.
one of my high school best friends. You're right, you gotta have that VIP pass, pit pass to get back behind the hot pit side of the garage where you see the riders come. They have the Alpine Star, and you see Lavino Ducati and Aprilia and the riders eating and all this stuff that goes. But that's part of the experience. And this is why I'm talking about it. And this is what I love about Moto America so much. It's an open pit policy. Anybody can show up and go straight up to
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Gouker or whoever it is, Blake Davis, freaking Josh Hayes, and get their
Yeah,
pictures and autographs to see the bikes up close and personal. At MotoGP, no, they have a fan walk in front of the garages for like literally it might be 30 minutes long, right? By the
yeah,
time you make it all the way down, they're like, okay, it's time to go, and they're walking
and they
everybody back out,
yeah,
and they force you. It's like,
yeah, and they force you.
yeah,
Yeah.
get out like now, right? And there's not a lot. Some of the riders do come out, but it's out of the whole paddock. There might be 12 riders that come out that whole time, you
Yeah.
know. So it's not the. It's a cool experience, but it's not as good as having the VIP where you get up close and personal with Jorge Martin and Pedro Acosta. I remember, so I listened to Moto PG podcast. Big shout out to them. They're my friends out there in Australia, and they give nicknames to all the riders, right? And Pedro Acosta's nicknames that they gave him was Baby Jeebus. So when I met him for the first time, I was like, Baby Jeebus, and he turns around and looks. I was like, yeah, that's you. And he looks, he says, me. I'm like, yeah, Pedro, blah blah blah. Yeah, it was crazy. It just had this look on his face.
Yeah. Who's that?
Pedro's super cool though.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, down to earth, you know. But so again, but before getting into round two, what is your futures and goals? Like, what do you envision for yourself, Nathan, as far as making it on two wheels?
Well, I want to be MotoGP. I want to take that GP route. We're gonna try and apply for the Rebel Rookies Cup this year. So if we can get into that, I think that'll boost everything. Because yeah, if you can get into Rebel Rookies Cup, you have a big chance of being able to go to, Moto 3 or whatever. So and yeah, that's
100%. Well, listen, whatever visions and dreams you have, like you just said, going to MotoGP, bro, I hope you achieve those 10 times over.
thank you.
110%.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And you, my friend, and I told you this, dude, you have it all going with you, man. You can do it. 100%. 100%. I can't wait to see it one day. It'll be like, dude, I had first time Nathan was on a podcast was with me. Look at him now, MotoGP World Champ. Let's go, right? Just don't forget us little people back here in America, Nathan.
No, definitely not.
I'm
Definitely
just
not.
joking. Yeah, I know. It's awesome. So round two, you know, you absolutely showed up at the first round and yeah, didn't come off the race one. And then now we went to Road Atlanta. I had a brain fart there for a second. Road Atlanta is always, I love Road Atlanta. I think it's a great track as far as spectator and racer side because it's such a beautiful track. My biggest gripe with Road Atlanta, and I'm speaking of this in terms, I've never ridden the track in real life, but as far as PlayStation goes, bro, that S turns, it kills me, dude. I can't figure that.
Yeah, it's on the Talent Cup, it was kind of easy because the bike's pretty slow. So I mean, down that hill, I mean, it was wide open, never lifted, and there's not a lot of runoff on the left there. So I mean, if you go down, I mean, it's straight airpins.
Yeah.
So it's kind of scary.
But you're not thinking about that at the time.
No,
You're just thinking about going faster.
I had we went to Moto or Weira. They were at Road Atlanta for it was like an endurance race, and Dale took me, and he had one of his mechanics for his at a shop he went, and it was his first time doing like a race or whatever, and I think it was either his first or second race or something, and he crashes in turn one and hits the wall, and I mean bike's total or whatever, and I was like, I didn't even know there was a wall there. So I kind of, when I did my track walk, I was like, oh yeah, there's that wall, and kind of, yeah.
That by wall, right? Back out the mine, right? Forget that wall. It's funny because it's not funny, but when I was there at Atlanta, obviously this past weekend for MA, Jason Rebe, my buddy, hit that air fence right there. I was actually standing there talking to Randy Kitzmiller from Epic Designs, and I heard this big pop from when you hit the air fence, right? I was like, oh shit, somebody just went down. Yeah, and it was Jason. He actually went up underneath it, like you was talking about previously, and his shoulder was stuck and had to roll out, up underneath the air fence. But which brings me to big shout out to all the corner marshal workers out there, right? In all racing, club racing, professional racing. If it wasn't for you guys and girls out there, we would not be able to show up and have fun at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. Also, with the road racing world, with the air fence, if we didn't have that, our tracks would not be as safe as they are. So big shout out to them. And they
Big
do
shout out.
donations. So go to roadracingworld.com. Yes, that's a plug. No, I do not get paid to say that, but listen, I love our sport, right? And I want it to be as safe as possible for my friends like Nathan out
Yeah.
there. And so, yeah. So, yeah, let's go. Bobby Von Neeson, what is up, man? He says, "Hey, now it's NATO Nation here." I love it. And then we got Jessica Haran. What is up? She
What
says,
is
"Hey,
up?
fellas." Yes, they're awesome. Absolutely. Also, it's funny because her husband reached out to me. He's like, "Dude, we're not going to be at they're going to VR on Monday." And I was like, "Dude, I can't go Monday because I got to work, right?" But I'm going the Saturday. My wife's birthday is July 4th. So
Yeah.
that one day I'm going to for the precision track day at VR and I to see all my friends and hang out and,
Yeah.
and all that cool stuff. So
There may be a possibility I come. I have to see what my dad's doing for work, but maybe I'll bring one of my friends, Riker Herb. He does the Talent Cup,
yep.
and he might try and drive up, and I might see if he can take me with my R6 and try and do that.
Yeah, dude, you should. It's funny you said Riker, dude, because I actually met him at CMP. I was riding my electric scooter right around, and I was like, "Hold up!" And I turned back around. I was like, "Riker, dude." And I introduced myself, Simcoe, blah 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 blah, and all this. So I gave him my phone number. I'm just waiting on him to hit me up so I can get Riker on the podcast.
Yeah.
But he was
Yeah.
super cool, super impressed. He was actually getting ready to go out and for our session, so I didn't obviously stay too long. I didn't have a chance to meet his dad yet, so I'm looking forward.
They're good people. Lately I've been spending a lot of time with him. He's been doing corner spin
Yep.
a lot. So yeah.
Yep. Corner spin's amazing. Again, Aaron Stevenson. It's absolutely amazing. So
He's trained so many people and they've all turned out great. I mean,
110%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yep. My buddy Giacomo Manera, he goes out
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah, you know him?
We know him. He stays in our corner spin's so fun. I mean, we'll have Giacomo, Blake, Ryan, and this kid's Tristan Ray. He's pretty quick, and we go out corner spin and we bang bars. I mean, Blake is an asshole on track. Like he doesn't care. Like, I
love it.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
now Blake's moved down to Florida, so that doesn't really happen that much. So it's kind of sucks.
yeah, you're missing that element, right? It's called iron sharpens iron, right? And I feel like if you go out throughout history, man, I feel like there's certain riders that have certain attitudes when it comes to riding, and that's the way they need to be. I'm not saying anything bad about Blake. Blake's my homeboy. He's 45 minutes away. I love him and Mike. Can't wait to get him on the podcast, right? But I feel like they leave everything out there on the track. If you leave a door open, guess what? He's coming through.
Yeah. Yes,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, it don't matter, but that's part of learning too, right? So the next time you come around, you're like, okay, Blake's behind me. I can't leave that gap no more. Like I got to shut that window when it's time to shut it. Otherwise, I know what's going to happen. So,
yeah, and I think a big thing for being aggressive is being really aggressive, like the first race, the first practice session, because if you absolutely stuff the crap out of somebody and they're a front runner and then you're battling with them in a race, they're going to be thinking, oh, I don't want to chop this guy's nose off because I know he's not going to give up. Like he's going to hit me and bump me out of the way. And I think that's a big plus to being really aggressive, like at the start of, a weekend or whatever.
110%, man, which is like, if you watch Moto3, MotoGP and all them, man, all them guys, they're so fast right out the gate, right? That's the trick, is being so fast right out the gate. and being able to stay there and fight. Like you said, don't be scared. I'll chop your
Mhm.
front end off if you put it right there, right? I'm
Right.
coming through. I'll
Right.
close the door on you, right? What I'll win it or bin it every lap.
Yes.
Win it or
Definitely.
bin it. And I mean it. Try me. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and with Moto America, or at least with the Talent Cup, I didn't really pay attention to the other schedule. But we only get one practice session, and then we went straight into qualifying. So I mean, that's being able to learn the track, get a good setup. I mean, I think that's where having like a good team comes into play because they need to know like and a good data guy, so that way they know, all right, the bike's doing this, we need to do this change, and being able to go out in the next session and being able to do the exact same time or the exact same like not the exact same time, but do the same effort and yeah, so that way we get always have a good like setting with the bike and yeah,
yeah, 100%. And it all goes back to what I said earlier, all those important puzzle pieces that got to come into play, right?
yeah,
You got to have that,
yes,
suspension guy or girl that you trust, whether it's K-Tech or Oleans or Bibito or
hmm
whoever it is, right? And then have, the data guy, which is so important, especially obviously in Talent Cup, because they got all the electronics that go along with it and just the whole, thing. And also with us saying this, Nathan, it's also important for a young rider, even an older rider, to understand what the bike is doing in order to come back to communicate what it's going on to your dad or your data guy, your suspension guy, instead of going, I feel like I'm like my buddy Dustin Cornier told me one time, I feel like my front end's like melting ice cream. And I was like, how do you translate that?
yeah,
A front end melting ice cream, like it's just right in the corner, right? Like, how do you
yeah,
translate that? But understanding, and this is where that whole thing we talked about earlier, right? The slow speed
hmm
parking lot drills come into play, right? So
yes,
you know what the front end's doing. I feel when the tire's starting to give break, right?
yeah,
Like all that's super important in order for you to come back to, again, like I just said, tell everybody, oh well, in T1 or in turn 5, it's doing this and this, and then from there, you know over the whole track, you pick out where you can gain the most time, and that's where you focus on
yeah,
and move
yeah,
forward with that.
and always where you can gain the most time is always in a fast turn, and I think having a good confident bike under you to be able to take that fast turn as fast as you can, and to have that you need, a good setting. So yeah,
100%. And with the Talent Cup, there's so many adjustabilities you can do on that. Have you
yeah.
gone through all of them yet, or are you just kind of
No, we've not. We've just did the basic ones. The only thing that gets a little complicated is, I mean, we've raised there's on the suspension, on the rear suspension, they have like bosses or whatever, and you can raise the back end of the bike up. I mean, that's really as deep as we've gone. Like the upper triple, it has like offset. We haven't gone into that yet. I mean, there's so much you can do on the bike.
it's almost like you can get lost way too easy, right? With all the adjustability. And that's why I like to keep it simple,
Yeah,
stupid, right?
yeah.
But it is good to show up at CMP or VIR for a track day and be like, you know what? Let's turn this thing upside down. Let's take the rake like this, and let's take the
hmm
trail like that. Let's
And
do the pivot here, and
And that's Dale's demeanor. He wants to be. He calls it. I forget what it's called. Um, it's it just has to do like you go from one side of, say it's like an arc or something, and you're on this side of the arc, and this is like the best that it can be, and but you want to. He says, like if it's just me and my dad, and my dad will call Dale and he'll say what's going on with the bike, and he was like, all right, they put take all the preload out, just take it all out and see what the bike does. Send them out. And he's like, all right, now it's even worse. So all right, we need to go all the way in now. All right, it's way better. So I mean, that's he always says just go the opposite end of whatever and just see what the bike does.
you know,
So
and see how you feel, right? And
yeah,
that way, and that it also comes back to what I was saying earlier. You develop a sense of when they make those changes, right? And I'm sure you probably ask sometimes, did you make any extra changes to the bike that I didn't ask for, right? And they're like, oh yeah, I did this, right? But then when you go out there, now you can feel the difference. Okay, well it was good here, but it really sucked in most of the track. But in this one
Mhm.
particular corner, it was absolutely sweet. But I'm not going to go with that way, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't need to go fast. So yeah, it's a lot, man. And then obviously, you got there's stiff talent in the talent cup this year. Kenzie's here and he's super fast too as well. It's definitely gonna be a challenge. And we're coming up to Barber, which I've never been to. So I'm looking really forward to actually making it if it
Mhm.
happens, if it's meant to be. What's your thoughts going into Barber?
Feeling great. We've been we should have new a new or rebuilt motor, so that should be good. And trying to our race strategy at Road Atlanta wasn't all that great. I don't know why I led onto the back straightaway. Um, Dale's yelled at me so many times about it, and so yeah, I mean, getting a new race plan, I think should be a good race. I think we can, and I know I do really good in the technical stuff, and I think if there's not that long of a straightaway, I think I can break away easier. So if I think I can get, in like race two at Road Atlanta, I had like a second and a half gap, and I mean the rear tire just went away, and they ended up drafting back by me, and so I think Barber doesn't have near as long as a straightaway, so it should be really good.
Oh, it's going to be a proper mega race weekend for sure, right? Atlanta
Definitely.
was, so was Coda for sure. Yeah, it's again stiff competition. Every track requires obviously different setups, and let me ask you this, Nathan. What do you think your best attribute to road racing is? Like, do you feel like you're a super strong breaker?
I never really thought about this. Like I said, I mean, I'm really good through the technical stuff. Here lately, now that Dale's had me more up on the bike, I can really just change direction super quick. And I'm really good through. I've always been like, now I come from motocross, and motocross you need to have like confidence to be able to send a jump, and so I think I've always been from the mini cup being able to just send a corner like full stick, like yeah. So yeah, technical and the fast corners,
You're
I
just
think I
good
got
at
it down.
taking your brain out and just be like, okay, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, just not thinking. Yeah,
Yeah, just let it wing. It's funny
yeah,
you say that because I was talking all this trash, dude. Because I grew up riding my buddy's dirt bikes, blah blah blah. And the first official track we really went to, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hit this jump. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna beat all you, right?" I said,
yeah,
they're like, "This is the triple." I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not doing that. Absolutely
yeah,
not." Like,
yeah,
yes, yes, you call me what you want. I'm that guy today. No problem. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's
not doing that. Sorry. My life to hey, if a bear was chasing me, oh full send, baby. Let's go. Not even thinking twice about it. But other than that, nope. I'll sit
yeah,
back and watch everybody else do it. That's hilarious. Oh
yeah.
my god. Oh, so what's next after Talent Cup, man? You feel like you're gonna stay in Talent Cup next year too as well, or are you already kind of like making plans for Twins Cup or
Yeah, I don't know. We want to go back over to Spain because that's the route that we want to take. Um, so yeah, I mean, like I said, Rebel Rookies Cup. If we can do that, then we'll do Rebel Rookies Cup, and they have the European Moto 4, which is called now, um, which is the step.
below Moto 3?
Yeah,
Ain't it? Yeah, it's the step below Moto
they
3. I'm
have.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that, and then they have Junior GP, which is like right
Junior.
below Moto 3.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's ultimately the goal. I'm just now old enough to do that Moto 4 series, so I just now got old enough to do pretty much everything in Spain. So
Yeah. Dude, Nathan, you got this, bro. You will make it as far as you want to make it,
Thank you.
110%.
Thank
So,
you.
one step at a time, one puzzle piece at a time, and it'll all come together.
Yeah.
100%. Man. I'm excited for you, man. You're super smart. You're a great young man, right? Not a kid anymore. I got to keep reminding myself, great young man, dude. You got, dude, a proper mega amazing father and mother behind you. It's you have all the recipe for
Yeah.
success, my friend. 110%. You just got to stay focused in between the chapters and want it more than anybody else in the worworld. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's my dad's thing has always been I'll put in just as much as you'll put in. Because he spends so much time in the shop working on my bikes. And, if I don't perform, why should he perform? So that's always been his demeanor.
It's I'll always see it like this. You and your dad are in such a unique position amongst everybody else, what I call the beautiful circus, that actually get to do this, right? If you think of the spectrum of the world and how many kids and adults that want to make it actually making money in road racing, wherever it is, it's not very many of them, okay? But the journey that the father and son, father and daughter have with the mom too, of course, is such a mega journey and such a unique one in this
Yeah.
world. It's that's why I always say it's the journey. It's not the destination. It's the journey that really matters, right? And
Yeah.
it's hard, Nathan, for you sometimes. I get it, dude. The adrenaline's rushing weekend to weekend. Sometimes it's hard just to sit back and soak it all in and smile and relax,
Yeah.
because you probably put a lot of pressure on yourself,
Definitely. Yeah. I mean,
because you want to make your dad happy and you don't want to fail him and you don't want to fail yourself neither, much less Dale, right? So
yeah. Yeah.
how does Nathan personally overcome when something mental happens in racing? How do you overcome that?
Uh, my dad's always been my mental, like, he kind of gets me into that state. I like, I listen to music a lot, and I think that's a big thing. Just being able to get in the zone. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I calm myself down. It's music, my
Yeah,
dad.
love it, man. I love it. We got Paul McKee. Well, Jessica, I see you, Jessica. Jessica says, "Do a wheelie."
I've been trying to work on my wheelies. It's Town Cup, like, it's pretty hard to wheelie.
uh,
I was just out on my 125. I was practicing using the rear brake because I still haven't. I can do it on a bicycle, but I still can't. Every time I get past that, like, oh crap moment,
that balance. Yep.
I always take my feet off. So now I've kind of been training myself to use the rear brake. So hopefully it should be better.
You know what helped me learn how to ride wheelies, dude? A unicycle.
Really?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
riding a wheelie. Once you get to that, it's all balance, right? So
Mm.
it's throttle. It's a little bit of throttle using that rear brake, but it's a lot of core too. So
Right.
when you're on the unicycle, you're basically doing the same thing. You're just not holding on to the
Hmm.
bars, right?
Yeah, I'm really good with a BMX bike, or not a BMX bike, just like a mountain bike. I can wheelie all day, rear brake, everything. I still try and get like 12 o'clock, all that. I had one time I tried to get 12 o'clock and I smashed the rear brake and it didn't grip, it just slid. And I just fell
Uh,
right over.
yeah, I've been there and done that myself for sure. Yeah, it's part of it, right? Paul McKee says Jason Waters went down in T1 straight into the air fence at Road Atlanta last weekend. I have the busted belly pan if there's any fans who want it. There it
Hmm.
is. Anybody want to adjust Jason Waters belly pan from Road Atlanta? Leave a comment. First comment down below. That's comments Jason Waters gets the belly pan. Um, yeah, Jason's awesome. And
Yeah.
then we got Lars Jespin. What's happening, Lars? Man, thank you for tuning in. He says he's an incredible talent with a bright future ahead. We're proud to have him representing VO2 Leathers. Let's go.
Yeah, they're great leathers. I love them. I've been with them for a while. It's probably
Dude,
been since 2022, 23. Yeah, great leathers. And
you and
they've developed so much. I mean, they went from just last year they had, like, now they've had the airbag that you can fit inside the liner. So like the arms doesn't come out.
Yeah.
We actually got them homologated. So yeah.
I love it. You and my buddy Chris Parrish. I know he's been a long time
Hmm.
VO2 leather user
Yeah.
too as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, man, I think it's great, man. I think having the whole airbag actually changed the game with help with injuries. I want to see our next kind of innovation with the helmets. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's like we're at this plateau, so to speak, right? Yes, that new FIM helmet, right? Blah 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 blah, but we need that next elevation step when as far as safety standards concerns in helmet, whatever it is. I don't know, airbag in a helmet. I don't know what it is, right? Um,
Yeah.
I just feel like as far as I guess what I'm trying to say is I love the way British Superbikes does with their if a rider crashes, Nathan, if you go down and you deemed even with a slight concussion, you're automatically out for 2 weeks. No questions asked. You can't even get on a bike. You can't even do a track day, bro. Like
Wow.
because and then you got to go back and do a couple checks to the doctor and have an MRI to make sure you're okay to come
Yeah.
back. And I love that. Right.
Yeah.
I
That's
wish more motorcycle racing organizations would implement that even more. Right. And I know a lot of them have their own certain standards, but I think that's again, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because if
mhm.
you're one point in the championship and you get a concussion last race and you're automatically out, then you just lose the championship. But think of it as 20 years down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how it could, affect you long term. So Jeff says, Jeff Haran, what is up, my man? He says, let's go, Nathan. Super fast and super talented young man. Always a pleasure to talk to you and Philip in the paddock. Yes,
Yeah.
it
Great
is.
talking to you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, dude, question I have for you, bro. Music, man. What music? What if you was to pull up your cell phone right now? What's the last song you was listening to?
But
I'll tell you what
I
mine is.
think it is "Can't Tell Me Nothing" by Kanye West.
Mine was "In the Cut" by Wiz Khalifa.
Hmm. Yeah, most of my playlist is just like old school rap. Like that's what I like. Like 50 Cent,
You know,
Biggie, all those big people.
DMX. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I'm big into that too. The only really new rap that I listen to, dude. I'm a huge Wiz Khalifa is one of my favorite artists of all time. So I'd listen to the What out of Wiz a lot.
Mhm,
That's my wife. She's like, you're always listening to Wiz. So I'm like, yeah, because he jams, right?
mhm.
But yeah, I'm big into that, dude. But I listen to everything. I listen to Frank Sinatra, to Led Zeppelin, to Sublime, to Talking
Yeah.
Heads, whatever. It just depends on the mood I'm in. Which let me ask you this, Nathan: Are you superstition at all? Meaning that when I call it preparing for battle, right? When you get ready to go out there on the track, do you have a certain routine you do before you get on the bike?
Yes, I like to jump rope. A lot of people like to do like a little jog or something. I've always liked jump roping. It's something that I learned or that I started doing over in Spain. Um, you know, jump rope and stretching. I have a certain like list that I go down when I do my stretches, and yeah, I mean
I
it's
love it.
warm up. It's a big thing to do. It's warm up.
Yeah, well, because it helps get you mentally prepared right here for what you're getting ready to go out
Yeah,
to do. And if you miss one of those steps, you're lost right here in a certain type of way, right? So
yeah, and
you,
it's always with music as well.
yeah.
I love doing warm ups with music, and
Do,
like I don't like when people try and talk to me during my warm up or stretching. Like someone gets me like out of the groove and kind of like again like lost. You
you
know?
know, yeah, you got to find your way to get back into it, but it's got to be super quick, right? How do you
Yeah.
just turn it on and turn it off, right? Everybody's got their own. Um, one of my favorites is my buddy Nolan Lampkin. When I asked him if he had any superstitions, he's like, "I wear my socks inside out," and I was like, "Wear your socks? What do you wear your socks inside out for?" Right? He's like, "Because when it's sewn together in the front, it gets up underneath your toes or on the side, you got to move it." And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I have that happen. He's like, well, if you're wearing it
Yeah.
inside out, you ain't got to worry about that. So from that day forward, I wear my socks inside out. So I just thought that
Huh.
was was pretty funny. Even when I put my road race boots on, right, socks inside out. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, you should try it.
I might actually try that.
Yeah, wear your socks inside. All right. It don't look. I mean, because I wear ankle socks in the summertime anyway. I don't wear big socks, right? But in
Yeah.
the
Oh,
wintertime, nobody's gonna see them anyway.
yeah.
Who cares? It's comfortable. Just saying. So, listen. With all this being said, Nathan, tell us something we don't know about you at all.
Hmm. I actually, lately I've been kind of not big, but I've only gone to a couple of them. But I've been getting the golf. I like golfing. I hit a couple balls in my backyard. Actually, not a couple. I actually hit a lot. But my Mimi, she lives next door, and she mows our yard, and she's always picking up golf balls. And she's always like, "Pick up your golf balls. I'm about to mow." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll go pick them up." So
Not right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not.
And I always see
You
split golf
crazy?
balls everywhere.
It's funny you said that. I feel like a lot of racers are into golf, and I
Hmm.
think just to me, I think I like playing golf too. I suck in real life. I can play the shit out of Tiger Woods golf on the PlayStation though. Let's get it in, right? Like, um, and if I golf clash on my phone, I play that every once in a while. But golf it's one of those super mental games. It's like you read the golf course like you do a track walk on the track.
Yeah,
So you're reading the
yeah,
track, right? You
yeah,
see where the undulations is, the little dips. Okay, I got to stay just to the left of this. I can, turn in here, turn in there, and that way you build up the speed and blah 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 blah.
yeah. And
Same thing as golf.
you tell yourself that even though your balls usually end up just curving away.
This way, that's where it
Yeah,
went. It don't go that way. It goes this way. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I'm very good at that. Right in the cut, baby. Let's go. Bam. There it goes. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot of fun though because you get up with your buddies and you just
yeah.
golf cart, just go out there and yeah, have fun, man. Bobby says it's a very hard game. It
It's
really is.
yeah. It's so difficult. I don't know how like Tiger Woods and all them they can put the ball exactly like on a dime. It's like just how like
I think it's just like racing, bro, Nathan. For real, it's skill, but it's also luck. And same thing, it's just important puzzle pieces got to come into
yeah.
play. That make that shot possible. Otherwise, I mean, how many times do you ever seen him make that same shot on that same golf course exactly the same twice in a row? Right? You
Yeah,
don't, never. So
right.
it's that little bit of everything. But I think that's why it's super popular, just because it's such a it's just like I tell my friends when they're watching road racing with me, I'm like, dude, this is like it's a game of chess. So let's say I
High speed
mean
chess.
it is
Yeah.
you and Kinsey, right? So Kinsey is stronger at some areas in Atlanta where you were weaker, you were stronger
Hmm.
than him. So by sitting behind him and studying, you're playing that game of chess. You're figuring out where you can make the pass safely and come up on the inside. But also when you do that, be quick enough to maintain that gap down that long ass front straightaway so he don't come back in on turn one on you again, right? So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's that game of chess you got to play for sure. What's your worst habit, bro? Besides not picking off the golf balls.
Um, my dad always gets mad at me. I actually suck at texting back. Like Aaron, he gets upset. I suck at texting back. Like I see the text, and for some reason I just don't text back. And I was like, I'll respond in a second. And whether I'm like doom scrolling or something, I always forget to text back, and it's one of my that and my interviews suck. And actually, I had a meeting with someone this morning. He works with a bunch of people in motocross, and he does interviews, or he's the interviewist, and yeah, he's talking about like how I can improve my interviews and all that. So those two, like Dale absolutely yelled at me in race one at Atlanta. I forgot to thank my sponsors, and I know I was like, oh, I messed up, but he keeps saying it. Well, maybe if you would, he's Massachusetts, so he's got that Massachusetts accent. He's like, well, if you would remember to say your sponsors, blah 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 blah. And so I'm like, yes, I know.
Yeah, I mean it's I feel like being in the position you're is, being so fast as you are, dude, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot you have going on right here, but you got to find a way to push it all back there to do this on the track and then come back and push the track back and bring
Yeah.
everything else back up front and be like, oh, my sponsor is Kabuto helmets and
Right.
whatever, right?
Right.
Yeah, and that's all part of the learning process. It's a lot going on right here, right? Like, just work with me, be
It's a
patient.
lot. Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot, a hell of a lot for sure. One of mine is I procrastinate, like especially with shit I really don't want to do, like mow the lawn or freaking do my laundry because I do my own laundry. Right? Not a lot of people know that about me. I, Chris Simcoe, do my own laundry. My wife does not do my laundry. I do my laundry. Most of the time, I do my son's laundry. I got something white on my shirt. And I let it just pile up, right? And then I'm like, okay, I got to do laundry. And 3 days later, I'm still doing laundry. So now I try to stay on top of it.
Yeah, I know. I actually have a big pile of clothes right there.
I got a pile right here, dude. I'm with you.
Yeah. It's like before we went live, I was like, I thought we were already live. So I was like, I didn't want to reach back there and like move it. And like whenever the intro or whatever was going, I was like, oh crap. So I moved it up a little bit so you couldn't see the whole thing.
It's all good, man. Hey, it's real life, right? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a mess, sometimes you won't. It's just it's part of it. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Nathan, do you read or listen to any books at all?
No, I don't. I have a lot of books over there actually, but my dad hates it. Like hates that I don't read. I don't know.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I used to love to read when I was younger, but when audiobooks really started hitting and seeing them, I get into audiobooks because if I'm driving to Atlanta or Summit Point or wherever, I got 4, 5, 6 hour drive, I throw in a book and listen to it. It brings you in more than just read. To me, if I read it, I fall asleep. But you learn a lot by
Yeah.
listening to.
Yeah, we were coming down from Pennsylvania and we actually listened to the podcast with Roger Hayden and I forget
Pipe
who else it was.
Pipe dreams.
Yeah, we
James
listened to that. 'Cause it's
Cole.
like 3 hours long, and yeah, we listened to that. It's like half the ride down. So it was a good podcast.
Yeah, it's a good way to kill time. That's what I do if I'm not listening to audiobook, I throw a podcast in on my road trips and I'll play one and I already have the second one lined up. So as soon as it's done, the next one will start and pick up and
Yeah.
you keep going. So do you listen to any podcasts besides Pipe Dreams, or is that something you just started getting into?
No, not really. To be honest, it's mainly music. It's the only thing. But I'm gonna start to.
This is when you should have said, "Yeah, of course. I listen to Pin to Gas." What are you talking about? I'm just.
I actually listened to the one with Ryan Wolf this morning.
Did you really?
I did. I had a plan because I was like, man, I gotta make sure I got all my answers down. So.
Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna change up all my personal questions, so they're going to be all new. I'm slowly working on that. But yeah, because that's what a lot of people say. They're like, "Yeah, I caught up on a couple episodes, so I already know what you're going to ask me." I'm like, I got to change that.
Yeah,
I got to change that. Do you have any plans outside of racing, Nathan? Like, do you have a fallback plan in case this don't work out for you at all?
No. I wanted to do. What was it I wanted to do? There was a time where me and my friend, he was my neighbor, and we live on like this 55-mile-an-hour road. So it was like never gonna work, but we wanted to wash windows. And so we got like papers. We just wrote on like window washing, like $5 a window or something. We walked down the road and we put our phone numbers on there and we never got a single call. But because my dad was a pressure washer and he pressure washed like all the houses, did all that. And so my dad had like some window washing stuff. So all right, yeah, we'll use this. And I was all prepared. I had it all planned out and never got a single one. So I kind of gave up on it. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do. But now I'm just kind of hoping on that racing works.
Well, I think it will, my friend, for sure. 110%. Yeah. I mean, I believe it will. I really do. I really do, Nathan. I really do. Are you currently watching anything on TV you could recommend to anybody?
I like C Boys TV.
Who?
They're C Boys TV.
Sea Boys? I don't think I've seen that.
They do a lot of um like they bought a brand new like Ford Raptor and they made it a wheelie truck. Like
That's
they're
cool.
bending the frame, like they're like these rich people. They just do like shenanigans. It's kind of like also Whistling Diesel.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Mhm.
It's kind of like that, except yeah, it's pretty much like that. But it's like a big group. It's like 6 guys, and I really like their videos.
Sweet. I'm gonna have to. I wrote it down. Sea Boys TV. I'm gonna check that out. Also, I watch Big Time. I think Big Time is pretty cool on Big
Oh
Time
yeah,
TV.
yeah, they do. Yeah, I watched. They did. It was like something with the Red Bull rookies or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched that one.
I think Kinsey was actually in that video. If
Yeah, he
I'm not
was.
mistaken.
Yeah,
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 Kinsey was in it.
at Apex.
Yep, at Apex out there in California with John Hopkins, which
Mhm.
is we're talking about books, dude. So if you audio book, bro, next time you and your dad go on the trip, highly recommended John Hopkins Leathered. I've talked about this
Okay.
book 5 million times on the podcast. I've listened to every motorcycle racer that has a audio book out there. I have it in my library and I've listened to them all. Thing that sets out for me with John Hopkins is it's all honesty. And I'm not saying that the other people are telling fibs here or there, but the way he comes about it, his story is just, it's like, I got to listen to one more chapter. I got to listen to one more chapter,
Yeah.
right? Just keep going with it. It just drew me in so much. It was that. And I just got done listening to The Art of Racing in the Rain, which is a movie too, as well. I'm a dog lover. So I love all the doggy movies, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, and then me and my son just got done watching One Piece on Netflix, the live version with the real humans, not the cartoon. That was actually pretty good. And then we're Star Wars nerds right over here in this household. We love Star Wars. We lightsaber duels, all this, right? So we're watching the new series Darth Maul,
I've never actually watched a single Star
Star
Wars movie.
Wars. Yeah, it's okay. It's cool.
My dad watched a lot of them, but I've never.
Of
So like
course,
it's kind of like Stranger Things. I've never watched Stranger Things.
that's dude. Now, Stranger Things is a good series. That's something me and the family we watched. Me, my wife, and my son, and they just released a Netflix cartoon of Stranger Things that pick up after the events of the TV series. So we watched all 6 episodes of that. That was pretty good too. So
I watched a lot of like the Young Sheldon.
yeah,
I rewatched that show so many times. That and the Flash.
Flash was really good,
Yeah,
man. I
it was really good at the start, and it kind of just slowly as they started adding in more CGI,
it
it
got
kind of got worse. But
um superhero TV shows that were really good that I didn't think I was going to get into that good was Daredevil. There's like
I haven't watched them.
6 seasons, I think. And they just released a new one, but it's real, dude. It's really good, man. Yeah, it's one of those that draws you in, and you're just like, I gotta watch another episode. Which
Yeah.
all this superhero talk, which brings me to the point, bro. If Nathan Gouker had one superpower, what's the one superpower you would have?
Hmm. Probably teleportation.
Bro, you're the first one that said that would dude.
Really?
Yes, dude. I used to say fly like Superman because he was always my favorite growing up,
Hmm.
right? And then I was like, well, forget that. If I could teleport, I could just be like, boom, I'm
Exactly.
at Nathan's house right now doing the interview
Exactly.
live, and I can be
Yeah.
back at home, or I can go. I want to go to Phillip Island, Australia. Boom, I'm there, right, and come back
Yeah.
home. So yes, teleportation would be
Yeah.
pivotal.
Teleportation definitely.
Yes, it would be super, super proper mega. Let me ask you this: karaoke song. What's our go-to karaoke song? Nathan's like, what are you talking about? I don't sing karaoke.
I've never listened to really any karaoke.
No, 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 no. Karaoke is we me and you, we go out, we pick up a microphone, we sing a song.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
our
not.
go-to karaoke song? What song are you singing, Nate?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Oof, I don't know. Does it? Huh.
Any song you want.
I
My
don't know. I
wife,
might have to pull up Spotify. Hold on.
my wife would sing "Baby Got Back" straight up. That's what she always does. "Baby Got Back." It's
I never,
hilarious.
I never heard that one.
Yeah, it's an
Hmm.
old school song.
Probably "Animals" by Maroon 5.
It's a great song.
Yeah,
That's a great song.
I love Maroon 5.
I do
That's
too, man. Yeah, Maroon 5, they jam.
yeah.
Absolutely jam. Them Coldplay too, man. You can't forget
Mhm.
Coldplay. They absolutely. Let me ask you this. If you could switch roles with any writer in the world, who would you switch with for a day?
Does it have to be a road racer?
It could be anybody you want.
Hmm.
It could be a
I want to
movie
be like
star,
Hunter Lawrence, or not Hunter, Jet.
Jet Lawrence.
He's got it like all. Like I want to be him. Like yeah, I want to
He's
be
got
that
the
guy.
accent, he's got the looks, he's got the chicks, he's got the titles, he wins everything.
Everyone wants to be Australian.
Right? I mean, listen, there's a lot of legends that come out of Australia, right? And road racing too, as well. So,
Yeah,
100%, man.
yeah,
100%. Well, listen, this has been a lot of fun. We're 112, I mean, 112 or an hour and 12 minutes into this podcast. I was going to say 112 minutes. Dude, this has been an absolutely proper mega good time, Nathan. Let's me and you
yes,
sit down and do this again. Let's just do an end of the season recap. I'll have you
yeah,
back on at the end of the year. We'll sit down and then we can talk about what's going on in 2026, where you're going at in Spain, and we'll just keep it going every year. We'll do
yeah,
2 or 3 a year. We'll just keep it going. I do have one last questions, and then we'll get to all the shout outs and all the sponsorships. Your career is done. You're 18th billion time MotoGP world champ. Okay.
hmm
Money, no object. Nathan Gouker has a Moto America team. Who is the manufacturer of motorcycle that you would have, and who are the two current riders in Moto America you would put on your bikes?
it'd be Ducati, like superbike riders.
Any rider in Moto America, any two.
It'd be Ducati and probably Blake and probably Kayla.
Okay, listen, Kayla is she's gonna break a lot of boys' hearts. She's already
Yeah,
doing it now, but y'all just better be prepared because
yeah,
she's yeah, Kayla's yeah, it was great to see her first woman in history get a podium at Daytona
yes,
200 when I was there. I
yes,
actually did it. My only interview that whole weekend I did with her after the race conference they had when I was up in the media center. I hadn't released it yet. I need to. I don't know what I'm waiting on. It's been done. I just need to upload it.
hmm
I just kind of I don't know. I just hadn't done it yet, but I will. Yeah, she's Blake, man, can't can't go wrong with Blake Davis. He's
yeah.
absolutely
He's got the whole package.
he does, dude. He's such a character. Him and his dad, Mike, man, they're
Yes,
absolutely,
he's told
absolutely.
me so. His dad's told me so many stories about. He's got so many like metal and so much metal. Like, if you ever seen? I think it's his ankle and his elbow. Like it just looks crazy. His elbow is gnarly. It's I don't know.
It's the price you pay. It's the price you pay to play this beautiful game, right? Like you don't think about it. Dude, they're just cool scars in the future for your chick, bro. That's all it is. See this scar right here? Well, let me tell you what happened to turn 12 at VIR this one year, right? Like
Yeah,
oh my God. Well, listen, I'm gonna let you end the podcast, but before I leave you the microphone to end the podcast, I gotta give all my shout outs. And the first thing I always say, Nathan, is thank you to everybody that watches this podcast. Thank you for Nathan for coming on here because if it wasn't for Nathan and everybody coming on this podcast, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this. So it's nothing but love to each and every single one of you. And I absolutely mean that. Big shout out to Kabuto helmets, one of my new deals. Me and Scott going on Kabuto America, Kabuto's Americas.com. Go check them out. Absolutely amazing helmet. I just got to talk about it real quick. I've only wore it once so far. I'm gonna go back out there this weekend. I got one podcast Saturday. It's earlier in the day. We have no rain, so I'm gonna bust out the RC51. But this helmet, yes, it's FIM homologated. Yes, it's super light. I got a bunch of helmets. No, this is not a sales pitch, but it's just the opportunity to talk about it real quick. Um, the MIP system's actually made into the liner of the helmet, the actual liner you can pull out, not into the shell. And one of the coolest features of this helmet, besides the airflow, is absolutely amazing. I got an HJC, Ralpha N1, the Red Bull one. I mean, I got the AGV, blah blah blah. So this safety lining, you know how they all got the pull tabs that come out. If you get in a wreck, they got to pull. Well, this one, you unzip this and you actually pull the liners out. So the pads actually suck in. So then you can just slip the helmet off. So if you're laying there and you go to jerk on it, you move the rider's head left and right, depending on, as you pull them out. Well, this one, it don't give you that option and it is patent. So it's absolutely, dude, and the point of vision is really good on this helmet too, as you can tell. It's got a wide view. So yeah. Anyway, big shout out to Kabuto, man. Absolutely amazing helmet. Big shout out to AGV Sports Group, Kamani, leather sponsor of mine. So anybody out there in the market looking for a custom suit, Nathan, I tell people this all the time. It is 2026. I've been putting this pitch for 2 years, right? Do yourself a favor. Get you a full custom suit. Take that off the rack suit, donate it to your friend that don't have one, make a purse, make a backpack, a duffel bag, give it
Yeah.
to your wife, your mom, or some. Listen, get you a full custom suit. It is night and day difference because it's tailored, custom, measured specifically for you. It's not just one size fits all off the rack where it might be tight here, which is going to cause arm pump. It could be
Mhm.
super loose here. So when you're going down a straightaway, it's choking you to death when you're trying to get that tuck in, right? So it's
Yes.
very important to have that full custom suit, whether you want to do VO2 leathers, whether you want to do bison, whatever. I'm AGV Kamani. You see my bison suit that I had custom made 2 years ago. Um, yeah, so if anybody's in the market, hit me up, man. Dude, Nathan, it's a world of a difference between a custom suit and off the rack suit.
Yes.
100%.
It's big difference.
It is. It really is. On that note, too, big shout out to K Tech Suspension, my boys Birch, Kendall, and Dakari out there. Everybody there at K Tech, you guys are absolutely amazing. If you're not riding on K Tech, I don't know what you're racing on, but you need to be on K Tech. Big shout out to SFL Mini GP, Jersey and South Florida. They have one of the best programs here in America, if not the best program. I've talked about it. I've done 515 episodes, so I've talked about it 515 times, right? Still the same. Nothing's changed. All you got to do is register and show up. You don't need leathers, boots, gloves, helmets, or even a motorcycle. They provide it all for you. Whether you're 4 years old, you want to get your daughter or son into it, or you're 65 years old, waiting, and never been out there riding before, SFL Mini, GP.com, sign up, Florida, South Florida, and in Jersey too as well. I got two friends that make undersuits in this industry, and both of them make the best undersuits in the world. You're not going to go wrong from ordering from either one of them. The first one is big shout out to my man Tate from 64 Degree Racing. He always sends me custom undersuits right here. They are absolutely, dude. Listen, and I tell people, Nathan, this all the time, right? I'm like, there's a huge difference between an actual, there it is, an actual, I love it, dudes. Race undersuit for motorcycles versus the Nike and the Under Armour you can buy at the store. It's not the
Yeah.
same. Absolutely not the same. So you're not going to go wrong by ordering from either one of them. So again, the first one is 64degreeracing.com. Big shout out to my man Tate. The second one is my Mama Aliki from phantomsport.com. Again, two of the best undersuits on the freaking planet,
Yes.
people. Whether you're a flat earther or a round earther, they're still the best suits, right? It don't matter. Order yourself one. And on that note, I got three people that make wraps, vinyl wraps in the industry. Whether you want your car wrapped, your dog wrapped, your helmet wrapped, your wife wrapped, whatever the case may be, right? Chris Crizel from Drippin' Wet, right? Everybody knows him. Of course, my man Reese Brody from REB Graphics and Gus Rodeo from GRG Designs. Three people
Yes.
you can go to make all your custom graphics, whatever your needs are. Absolutely amazing in the industry. For all my UK friends out there, and Nathan soon when he goes back overseas next year and kicks everybody's ass, you guys and girls can go to clothingkings.co.uk and order all your Pendergast merch. Yeah, the last thing I'm gonna say is, listen, if anybody needs anything, keep it in the industry, people. Support those who support you. Don't order the motorcycle stuff off of Walmart, off of Target. keep it within the industry. It is very important because if you don't support us that are in the industry, we're not going to be here any longer, and therefore we're not going to have
Mhm.
an industry. So please support your local vendors, whether it's Pit Lane Moto, Derek Stick Boy Racing, whatever the case is. Support your local vendors, support your local dealerships, your moms and pops local dealerships, even if it's $20, $50 more, support them because when
Yes.
they're 110%. And on that note, I'm done running my mouth. Nason, give all your shout outs where people can find you on social media, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Big shout out to Quarterly Racing. They're best. I mean, Quarterly does it. Dale does it so well. Wrench Motorcycles, Warhorse. I was a part of their team in 2023 with the Moto America Mini Cup. KYT helmets. They're great helmets. Super light. I have they have road race and they have dirt bike helmets, and they're both super light. VO2 leathers, like Simco was saying. I mean, you need, or yeah, customs fitting is a world of a difference. 64 degrees. They Atlanta, it was 90 degrees on Saturday, and I mean, they helped me keep. So not only do they help you keep cool, they also help you keep warm when it's super cold.
Bro.
And I know the new ones this year, they're thicker, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be so hot, and no, it keeps you warm, it keeps you cool. They're super great.
It's almost like magic. Like, how does this happen?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, DP Motorsports, he's my cousin up in New York. I think he's in New York. Corner spin. Oh my god, I almost forgot him. Aaron. He does it. He knows what he's doing. I mean, if you need on motorcycle training, he's up in Salisbury, North Carolina, and yeah, hit him up cornerspin.com. Let's see. Carolina Supermoto. If you go to CMP, they have a Facebook group. I think it's just Carolina Supermoto, and they usually try and have a uh, kart track day. Pretty much every month, they try and have at least one. I think that is it.
That's it.
Yeah, I think so.
I love it. Well, listen, do me a favor, just stay on with me for a brief
Mhm.
second once I end this so we can just talk for a second. This episode, ladies and gentlemen, will be out. Just give me see it's 7:24 by 8:30 tonight. It'll be out on Spotify, iHeart, all that good stuff. Nathan, I'll send your dad all the direct links so you guys can next road trip listen to you tell your story and your journey. And yeah, you guys stay tuned because I'm really looking forward to having his dad Philip on the podcast. That's one of my favorite things to do is get the young adult or the kid, whatever age he or she is, on the podcast and turn around and get their dad on, because that's the grassroots of racing. So it's a complete story and journey up to this particular time stamp in life, right? And it's
Ooh, I have one more I need to thank.
no, go ahead.
Precision Track Days. They're the best. I mean, yeah, Fahad runs it so well, and they have a great fan page or the Instagram. They're always doing posts, and if you're going to Precision Track Days and you make a story or a post, whatever that, and you tag them, they'll tag you on their Insta. They're a wonderful group. They have bikes to rent, they have warmers, gloves, always have stuff to rent. Yeah, they're great.
Oh, I always enjoy myself when I go to Precision Track Days and hang out with all my friends. 100%. Same thing with Azure, right? I love Azure too. Like dude, I just love racing. I just love two wheels and being at the track. Let's go, right? I love them all. Let's go. Anyway, on that note, I appreciate everybody tuning in on this episode. We'll be out here in like an hour from now. Thank you so much, Nathan, for coming on. It was an absolute honor to finally to get you on this podcast. And yeah, we will catch up with you guys soon. Don't forget, Barber's coming up. Make sure you stop by. You see this guy right here, Nathan Gouker. He is a legend. He is going to be a world champion. Don't forget it. Make sure you get those pictures, get those autographs, show all the love, order from your local dealership, support your local people. Love you, mean it. We'll see you next time. We are out of here.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.
All right.